There are funny Merry Christmas quotes to hot everybody has an addiction, mine just happens to be Cobra Kai shirt. Make your hot everybody has an addiction, mine just happens to be Cobra Kai shirt. Tank top, V-neck, sweatshirt and hoodie, V-neck, tank top, sweatshirt. The same can also happen when hot everybody has an addiction, mine just happens to be Cobra Kai shirts. Watching other products, hoodie, I just want to vote. Say my hot, I like dogs and penguin, and varied tour packages. Explore Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh with Sac Voyage. We can make your travel to Armenia a special, unforgettable experience. Much of the indecision you might. Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's shirt, ladies tee, long sleeved, sweater and hoodie. Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's ladies tee. Foreclosures can give a tremendous opportunity for new investors because from these choices they seek quick returns of their money. It is important to seek foreclosure home listings that Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's shirt can serve as various investment options for buying these properties, and knowing about these listings can increase the profit rate for investors. Real estate owned foreclosures is least risky while purchasing because these are already owned by the government or by the banks. In this process, banks own those properties which are defaulted by mortgage payments. When these houses are reverting back to banks, they are sold to another entity in order to recover their earnings. You can find a lot of cheap REO homes on foreclosure home listing because the banks want to get rid of these properties as soon as they can. This is because more the time it will stay with the bank, the more the money should be spent on them in order to maintain these properties. Batman doesn't have any special abilities. Batman is Batman because he chooses to become a dark symbol, chooses to become a bat, chooses to become a vigilante. Basically, as Travis pointed out, Batman Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's shirt is Batman because of his psychology. Relatedly, Batman's classic adversaries don't have superpowers. Rather, they too are characterized by their own psychological quirks brought on in many cases, like Batman's, by past trauma. Thus, when Batman confronts Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's long-sleeved, an adversary, we're not witnessing a clash of powers but a clash of psychologies. Two personalities colliding. And we're drawn to the clash as we're keen to see what the adversary Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's shirt draws out of Batman's psyche. The iconic example of this is Batman's conflict with the Joker. The conflict between Batman and Joker is a psychological conflict. The Joker constantly probing and exploiting the darker elements in Batman's psyche. The Joker doesn't want to beat Batman up as much as he wants to pervert or destroy Batman's psychological and moral integrity. With Batman and the Joker, it's a clash of wills, rooted in their respective psychological traumas, rather than a clash of superpowers. At this point in time, we are at the height of the information age, and computers have had an enormous impact on Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's shirt all of our lives. Any information is able to be represented as a collection of bits. And with Moore's law, which states that computing power doubles every 18 months, our ability to manipulate and store these bits has continued to grow and grow. Moore's law. Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's sweater has been driven by scientists being able to make transistors and integrated circuits continuously smaller and smaller. But there eventually comes a point we reach in which these transistors and integrated circuits cannot be made any smaller than they already are, since some are already at the size of a single atom. This inevitably leads us into the quantum world. Quantum mechanics has rules which are, in many ways, hard for us to truly comprehend, yet are nevertheless tested. Quantum computing looks to make use of these strange rules of quantum physics and process information in a totally different way. They were badly decomposed, having been in the water for such a long time. The local inhabitants reported the bodies to parish authorities of St. Tammany, and the bodies were buried along the lakeshore. The presence of the Navy, which was close by on the Tchefuncte River, never acknowledged the death of these sailors. No records were found in which the U.S. Navy claimed them. Lt. Merrill and gun vessel number 24 rode out the storm with minor damage somewhere close to Bay St. Louis. Captain Shaw needed the use of No. 24 and Lt. Merrill's expertise immediately after the storm. He wrote to Lt. A. Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's hoodie. Competent force Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's shirt must be provided without delay. If the gunboats can be repaired, let it be done without delay. If they can't be repaired, you are authorized to purchase suitable vessels, if in your power, and amp. Fit them up. For carrying guns and amp. In fitting them you will use all the good materials of the gunboats to save expense. Throughout the campaign, the media often labeled Obama as an angry black woman, and some websites attempted to propagate this perception, causing her to respond, "Barack and I have been in the public eye for many years now, and we've developed a thick skin along the way. When you're out campaigning, there will always be criticism. I just take it in stride, and at the end of the day, I know that it comes with the territory." By the time of the 2008 Democratic National Convention in August, media outlets observed Obama's presence on the campaign trail had grown softer than at the start of the race, focusing on soliciting concerns and empathizing with the Love Hippie Gnome 8 Street Patrick's shirt audience rather than throwing down challenges to them, and giving interviews to shows like The View and publications like Ladies' Home Journal rather than appearing on news programs. The change was even reflected in her fashion choices, with Obama wearing more and more sundresses in place of her previous designer pieces. While the epidemic begins to look more and more like a media fabrication as pieces of a larger, horrifying truth begin to slot into place, it is more important that you protect yourself and your loved ones from the flu vaccines than influenza itself. Let's look. Other products.